In the beginning, three words that have echoed through millennia, shaping civilizations, inspiring artists, and sparking endless debate. But what if I told you that this ancient creation story isn't just about how the world started? It's actually a profound exploration of what it means to be human, our capacity for greatness, our tendency toward failure, and the wisdom we need to navigate both. Today, we're going deeper than the Sunday school version. We're looking at the hidden layers of meaning that have captivated scholars, theologians, and seekers for thousands of years. We'll walk through four transformative themes: creation, the fall, the rise, and the wisdom that ties it all together. By the end, you might see this ancient text in an entirely new light. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The book opens not with explanation, not with argument, but with action. There's an empty void, darkness over the deep, and then light. With a word, existence begins. What's remarkable about this creation account is its structure. Over 6 days, we see a pattern of separation and filling. Day 1, light separated from darkness. Day 2, waters above separated from waters below. Day 3, land separated from sea. And then God fills what He's separated. Lights in the sky, creatures in the waters, animals on the land. But here's where it gets interesting. On the 6th day, something different happens. God doesn't just speak humanity into existence. The text says God formed Adam from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. There's intimacy here, intentionality. And then comes one of the most significant verses in all of Scripture. Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness. The Imago Dei, the image of God. This concept has shaped Western thought for centuries. It suggests that human beings carry something divine within them. Not that we are gods, but that we reflect something of the Creator: creativity, rationality, moral awareness, the capacity for relationship. Think about that for a moment. Every person you've ever met, according to this text, carries the image of the infinite. The narrative also introduces us to the Garden of Eden, a place of abundance, harmony, and purpose. Adam is given meaningful work: to tend the garden and name the animals. Eve is created not as an afterthought, but as what the Hebrew calls an ezer kenegdo, often translated helper, but more accurately, a strong ally or corresponding partner. This isn't just about how the world began. It's a portrait of how things were meant to be: order out of chaos, beauty from nothing, relationship at the center of existence. But paradise, as we know, doesn't last. Chapter 3 introduces us to the most consequential conversation in human history. The serpent approaches Eve with a question that seems innocent enough. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? Notice the subtlety. God had actually said they could eat from every tree except one. The serpent exaggerates, plants doubt, and then delivers the fatal promise: you will not certainly die. For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. Here's the tragic irony. Adam and Eve were already like God, made in His image. But the temptation to be autonomous, to define good and evil on their own terms, to grasp rather than receive, it proved irresistible. They ate, and everything changed. The immediate consequence? Shame. They suddenly realize they're naked and hide. When God walks through the garden, calling out, "Where are you?" A question not of location, but of relationship. Adam and Eve are hiding behind fig leaves and blame. The woman you gave me, she gave me the fruit. The serpent deceived me. Sound familiar? The pattern of deflection and blame that started in Eden still runs through every human heart. The consequences unfold: pain in childbirth, toil in work, conflict in relationships, and ultimately, death. But notice, these aren't arbitrary punishments. They're the natural results of breaking trust, of choosing separation over connection. Adam and Eve are exiled from the garden, and cherubim with flaming swords guard the way back to the tree of life. Paradise is lost. But here's what many miss. Even in the curse, there's a promise. God tells the serpent that the offspring of the woman will crush his head. Theologians call this the proto-evangelium, the first gospel. Even in humanity's darkest moment, there's a whisper of redemption to come. This story isn't just ancient history, it's a mirror. Every day we face the same choice: trust or grasp, gratitude or entitlement, relationship or isolation. These pages show us where that choice leads. After the fall, the story could have ended. Humanity failed, done. But that's not what happens. Instead, we get story after story of people rising from failure, finding purpose in the midst of brokenness. The pattern begins immediately. After Cain murders Abel, God places a mark of protection on him. Even the first murderer isn't beyond the reach of mercy. Then comes Noah. The world has descended into violence and corruption. God grieves, yes, grieves, that he made humanity. The flood comes, a kind of uncreation, waters returning to cover the earth. But Noah finds favor. One righteous man becomes the vessel through which creation gets a second chance. When the waters recede and Noah steps onto dry land, God makes a covenant, a binding promise, never to destroy the earth by flood again. The rainbow becomes a sign, not primarily for us, but for God. I will remember my covenant, he says. Grace, it turns out, has a long memory. But the rise that defines this book comes through one man, Abraham. In chapter 12, God speaks to a 75-year-old man living in Mesopotamia. Leave your country, your people, and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you, and all peoples on earth will be blessed through you. This is the Abrahamic covenant, the hinge on which the rest of biblical history turns. Abraham isn't chosen because he's special. He's chosen so that through him, blessing will flow to everyone. And Abraham's story is messy. He lies about his wife, twice. He tries to force God's promise through his own schemes, having a child with Hagar instead of waiting for Sarah. He struggles, doubts, and fails. But he also rises. When God tests him by asking for Isaac, the miracle son, the embodiment of the promise, Abraham obeys. At the last moment, God provides a ram as substitute. The Lord will provide, Abraham names that place, and from that mountain, a nation will eventually emerge. Joseph's story completes this arc of redemption. Betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely imprisoned, Joseph has every reason for bitterness. Instead, he rises to become second in command of Egypt. And when he finally faces his brothers, broken by famine and guilt, he speaks words that capture the entire theme of this book. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. The rise we see here isn't a denial of suffering. It's the discovery that suffering isn't the final word. So what do these ancient pages teach us? After all the stories of creation and chaos, fall and rise, what wisdom remains? First, we learn about identity. You are not an accident. You are not merely the product of random forces. According to this text, you bear the image of the infinite. Your life has inherent dignity and purpose. In a world that often reduces people to their productivity, their appearance, or their social status, this book insists that your worth is built into your very being. Second, we learn about freedom and responsibility. Adam and Eve had real choice, and choices have real consequences. This isn't about punishment, it's about the nature of reality. We live in a moral universe where our actions matter. The wisdom here isn't just be good, it's understand that what you choose shapes who you become. Third, we learn about the nature of temptation. The serpent didn't force Eve to eat. He distorted truth just enough to make rebellion seem reasonable. You will be like God, he promised. The most dangerous lies contain elements of truth. Wisdom requires discernment, the ability to see the hook inside the bait. Fourth, we learn about grace in the midst of failure. Not a single hero in these stories is perfect. Noah gets drunk, Abraham lies, Jacob cheats, Joseph boasts. Yet God continues to work through flawed people to accomplish his purposes. If you've ever felt disqualified by your mistakes, this offers a different narrative. Your failures are real, but they're not final. Fifth, we learn about the long arc of redemption. From that first whispered promise in chapter 3 to Joseph's declaration that God meant it for good, we see a thread of hope running through the darkest circumstances. The wisdom here is patience, the understanding that we often can't see how things will turn out, but that doesn't mean the story is over. Finally, we learn that blessing is a calling. Abraham wasn't blessed to hoard it. He was blessed to be a blessing. This wisdom isn't about self-improvement, it's about other orientation. We receive so that we can give. We rise so that we can lift others. This book is roughly 3,000 years old, but its themes are as relevant as this morning's headlines. Creation reminds us of our dignity. The fall reveals our brokenness. The rise shows us redemption is possible. And the wisdom ties it all together into a vision of life that's both honest and hopeful. Whether you approach these ancient chapters as sacred scripture, as literature, or as timeless wisdom, they have something to offer. Because at their core, they're asking the questions we're all asking. Where did we come from? What went wrong? Can things be made right? And how should we live in the meantime? The answers offered here have shaped billions of lives. Maybe they'll shape yours too. Until next time, remember, the story isn't over.